Okay, so I'm out here. It's like 10:45, 11 o'clock at night. I'm making this video now because it's like tropical. It is, what, November 3rd, November 4th, something like that? No, we're near midnight. I don't know how this thing works. And it is 74 degrees out here, I would say. And it feels like you are standing in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But like this time of the year. And I think this is like the big ass fucking like hot air system that was supposed to come up from the Gulf. It's crazy. I've never felt it feel like this in November. It's moist air. And I don't know where this thing's headed, but we've got a big column of fucking water building over us. So, you know, you live in Oklahoma, you might want to like watch the weather. This is like the stuff to watch for, right? Like, let's say you didn't have a weatherman. A falling barometer can mean a storm system coming in. And anytime that you have like really warm, hot air like this out of nowhere in the winter, like it wouldn't take much of a cold snap to turn this shit to snow. That's like really what I'm thinking is this is either just going to be a big late like Indian summer thunderstorm, or this hot air mass is about to hit the fucking Arctic air that's coming from Alaska, and we're about to see a fucking old school 1800s Central Plains blizzard. That hasn't happened here in a long goddamn time. Kills me the sky at night because Tulsa's light bounce is so bad. When there's clouds like this, you don't need night vision. I can see perfect. Even with the street lights out, like if they're all out, the light bounce doesn't work right. But like if that street light was out and the one behind me was out, you would still be able to see like they were on right now. How much cloud cover we got. When you wear nods, you notice shit like this a lot more. Like that's half of why I notice light bounce and shit off the clouds, is wearing night vision around out here for forever, playing with shit and testing shit and then using it and doing other shit with it. Like you use it in varied conditions and you notice shit. Like the main thing that gets to me is I've never put on a set of night vision goggles that I did not see something that wasn't like a shooting star or something moving. Like I think a lot of that satellites, but the shooting stars are, you know, I think it's just that much debris that enters our atmosphere on a regular basis. I think space is full of debris. Night patrol. Well, this is my weather update. I'm not really feeling much to do in many videos. I blocked Night Prowler, so we won't have to hear from him again. This is my thing, is basically like, if you're my friend, you know, be my friend. Like, if you agree with them, fine, just don't tell me about it. I'd rather not lose any more fucking friends. Night Prowler hurt, man. Every one of them hurts. one of those that, like, if I ask you not to talk about that shit, if you fucking feel that way, and then your response to that is just to keep fucking making pithy comments, like, you're a fucking troll. Bye. I've always come out here and walk like this a lot. Like, I smoke and pace, basically, from the stop sign to the stop sign. I've done that for several years now. It's one of those, like, if anyone ever really wanted to fucking kill me, pretty fucking easy to find. Bunch of fucking nutless fucking wonders. The fucking gun community. It's one of those, like, they want to talk shit about me. I don't know. I'm literally saying fuck the system. I'm walking away. Folding up shop and leaving. I don't really know where that's gonna land me yet. The odd play out is, like, actually try to join the fucking military. But, like, I don't know if that would be good, to be honest. I think that would probably be very, very bad. I think it's one of those things like, you don't want to be in a military run by the Democrats. They make sure their kids aren't in the fucking military. What we're watching happen now in the fucking world is Lying Johnson's boys from the 60s have gotten power again with fucking Joe Biden at the head of them. You know, Trump was run by Nixon's people, right? I don't know if you know that or not, but that's where Roger Stone comes from. Hell, that's even where Hillary Clinton comes from, believe it or not. She wasn't with Nixon. She was against him, though. She was in the people that brought him down. This is some of the, like, history of the 1960s and 70s that they didn't teach you in schools that you should really fucking know about. Hunter Thompson would be rolling in his fucking grave. He is rolling in his fucking grave. Sad part is my grandfather is too, and I like both those men. And they would have hated each other. And that's what I got from Dakota. She brought peace to my two worlds. So I have two worlds within me. I have the Hunter Thompson side of me that is just fuck all this shit. And inside me I also have fucking Captain America. Because they fucking programmed us with fucking Hollywood. We're meant to be useless, disposable fucking soldiers to them. I'm sorry that basically the Democrats have made it to where there's no reason to live. That's really a lot of it. The only reason that most people keep putting their foot forward in front of the other is for their kids. You know, some of us don't have that. And some of us are sitting here going, you're about to all die because you don't see that you're going to need to feed your kids. And that the only way to feed your kids is growing fucking food now. Or making shit to trade to those farmers for food. Like, that's the business I'm hoping to be in. I'm going to go find somebody that's growing fucking food out in the fucking countryside and have a wagon full of fucking blacksmith and shit and carpentry tools. You know, it's got to be something. I build things. I make things. Like, that's, you know, maybe not for everybody, but I don't know why you would ever want to do anything else. And the main reason I don't here in Tulsa is because of the people that you'd have to work for. So, you know, I don't work for other people. I tend to do handyman shit for myself. So what I've always done. And here's the thing, is like most people don't want to fucking pay outrageous fucking rates to have some professional carpentry crew come in to fix some small thing, and you can make a few $100 fixing cabinets or whatever it is. Like, especially like a lot of the people that I help out are like older people that just can't fix shit for themselves anymore, and half of it's just whatever you can give me for it. Like, if I have to buy shit, there's that, and I do need some money. But like, if you're dirt fucking poor, like, my pricing scale's very flexible. I'm willing to do a lot for not very much a lot of times. I think it sucks that basically we live in the brave new world, and not everyone sees that yet, and the entire older generation is criticizing the younger generation for saying, yo, I'm gonna go camping, fuck you. If they keep turning up the heat, I'm very interested to see what happens in this country. Because I think you're going to see a violent overthrow of the Democrats in the very near future, basically. And it's going to be after Biden wins a second term. Yeah, believe it or not, I believe we're in for several more years of this shit before you guys actually do something. That's, I'm about 2 years ahead of the curve. That's what I've figured. And I started being this way a couple months ago, really, a few months ago. So, that was, let's call that July. COVID was February of 20, right? So, yeah, it's a little over 2 years. So it's going to be a little over 2 years from July 8th that shit's really going to start popping off. It's probably going to be in the run-up to the next presidential election. Basically, if what I believe is happening, they're going to cheat this round. Everybody's just going to sit there again. And no one's going to do anything again. Because we're Americans. And for the next 2 years, people will start doing what I'm doing to various degrees. I'm first, head of the curve. That's cool. But at the same time, as you start realizing that shit, we might be in like nuclear wars with Russia. Because nuclear wars with Russia would allow them to maintain power. And that's all they care about. They're going to destroy the whole fucking world. I honestly believe what's going on with the weather right now is because basically we figured out how to manipulate the weather on this planet somewhere in the 1960s. And we've been doing it. And the people that do it are owned by the Democrats, and it's one of those, they control the fucking weather now. I know that's hard to believe, but that's pretty much fucking true, I think. I don't think they control it 110%, but I think they fuck with it to the point that, like, the craziness that we see now is a rebalancing of nature from God, basically, from all of the shit that they did. To be honest, it was really, really nice living in a world without smog during COVID. I think this is and was always the intention of that pause in COVID, was to give everybody a good couple of years to think. I think that was sent by God in some ways. We needed to sit back and look at our civilization and take a good look at what we do and reevaluate our lives. And some of this sounds like some of that eco-hippie bullshit. Yeah, it is to a certain extent. Like, they have several points. Their points about gas-powered cars are fucking utter nonsense, though. That's just my opinion. There's lots of things we could do to clean up the atmosphere and whatever, and reducing the number of cars on the road would do that. I don't know of a way to really do that, though. Like, we really need to science the shit out of, like, an invention. And we have people like Elon Musk coming up with fucking... he's the Thomas Edison of our time. You know, Nikola Tesla wanted to free the world, give everybody energy. Thomas Edison and Westinghouse figured out how to make it into money. We are a product of that era. In case no one's ever looked at it, there's a movie you can go watch, The Current War. It has Benedict Cumberbatch in it. It's pretty good. Made a couple years ago. It's all about Thomas Edison and Tesla and Westinghouse. And basically how Tesla and Edison came up with the technology. And Westinghouse was the man that forged an empire. Because basically, I think Westinghouse, from what they said about him and from what I've read about him, he is a bit like me. He grew up with not much. And then at various points in his life had everything. And the system that he built was good. Is it the best fuel or whatever? Is it scale? Maybe not. But like, it was made to provide cheap, efficient power to the population. They're not interested in doing that anymore. So why would anyone want to be on their grid? Like, this is what is going to happen. Just FYI, like, Detroit is about to be in all of the cities in America. No one's going to be here because it's a fucking ghost town. Except maybe me. I'll still be roaming around in my camo minivan. Or maybe that's my thing, is I'll find one of these fucking deserted cities and start doing mountain man shit in the suburbs. That's kind of what this channel is, in a way. This is, you know, the start of my journey to being a mountain man in the middle of a fucking urban jungle. I'm not sure it's for everybody. Backwoods and Kossoff and Smoke apparently enjoy it. I'm excited about the mountain man shit. Part of me says Hawken rifle. But the other part of me says bow. Got the ghetto bird coming over again. I'd kill for a fucking... I'm not gonna say what. You can insert fill in the blank there. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Die, pigs, die. In case you wondered where I'm at with the police, it's at Die, Pigs, Die. one of the things I really, look forward to is eventually my brother's probably gonna get out of prison. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna tell him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him, to be honest. I don't know how himself he's gonna be after fucking 10 years in there. There's a part of me that wants to go fucking free all the federal prisoners. I hear Joe Exotic every day. Every day I see Joe Exotic on Instagram crying from prison. It's my brother too, man. Like, there's not that many motherfuckers that would have hired me on the spot. And that fucker would have. And maybe he wasn't the best to his fucking employees. Maybe they ate garbage or whatever. That's preferable to working for any of these fuckers. Why would you want to be that abused by someone that was also going to fire you? Makes no sense. If I had any money at all, I'd fucking start a company. And maybe I will, just off of the fucking saw I traded for today. A really good friend of mine who owns a pawn shop gave me a circular saw today. Said, pay me whenever you can. Doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna keep that saw forever. It's just an old Porter cable. It's not worth $20. Man. As someone that actually can fix this place, it frustrates the hell out of me that no one here would ever fucking listen to anyone that could. Like, this is half of the thing, is the vast majority of the US population doesn't fucking understand the full picture. They only understand their bubble. I'm the bubble burster. I went through all of them. I've been through most of the bubbles that you could be in. And everyone's pissed about the same shit. Kind of makes it infuriating to watch this now. God, I miss Dakota. God, I fucking miss her every night. I basically let the world melt away for a few years with her. A few years. Seemed like a few years. It was only a year. Oh, I hope she's alright. I'm so goddamn hungry right now. I haven't eaten all day. I do that a lot. I think it provides a lot of mental discipline, basically. Motherfuckers with their brights on. Just hanging out outside, sitting down talking to you guys helps. It really does. one of those, like, I couldn't imagine being anyone else and going through this and not even understanding half of what was going on. I'd be scared shitless. That's the other thing. Like, a lot of people don't get me. I'm not scared at all. I'm mad. I'm mad as hell. I cry when I'm mad. As one should. You know? One of my favorite scenes in movie history ever was little Ralphie beating the fucking snot out of Scott Fargus in The Christmas Story. He just pounded him. Sorry. I needed to think, and sometimes TMI, when you have ear drainage issues, if you really need to think clearly for a second, that does that. It gives you 2 seconds of clarity. I basically live my life in a fog most of the time because of allergy bullshit. The thing that I liked about weed was it made my allergies go away. And with some of the stuff I have going on now, they aren't really back, but all of their fucking bad symptoms are. Because of the fucking ear infection. And like, it fucks with my mind to be in this amount of pain. And it's one of those, like, it's just kind of a nagging thing that you just can't stop. Sinus shit sucks so fucking bad. I think we're going to be doing a lot more of these rather than the live chats because I canceled my StreamYard. You know, for those who saw the 2 hours of silence, yeah. I left them a nice note about the what fors and whys of why I was canceling my paid subscription. And basically it's that they don't let you control enough shit about that on the back end. And mixed with that audio bullshit. I don't know what's up with that. I rebooted my computer and all that shit, but like half of my thing is right now, I really can't even do that. My computer has some fucking key code thing that it always wants from fucking Google. That's not my Google password, and I don't fucking know how to get that. I need to talk to Infernus about that. I hate pestering Infernus, but he legitimately, I think, likes me and knows more about tech than I'll ever hope to, basically. And like, that's half of my thing is I am a tech junkie. I stopped being interested in any tech that wasn't something that I could make and control, basically. Like, I like Apple products of all the computers because they're kind of quality and they last a while. They're also fucking expensive to buy new, but like, this is half the thing is you buy used. You always buy used. You buy refurbished on Amazon. You know, you're wanting to know how to live through the Great Depression? I'm teaching you guys how to live through the Great Depression. You guys don't fucking see that yet because basically I'm still kind of stuck here at the moment. I'm gathering shit and working on shit, and like, it's just that's where we're at. But everything that I've done in the past 5 years basically has been to get to this moment, and especially in the past year. I did a lot of hard shit in the last year that I don't think a lot of people would do. And like some of that is selling the really nice car. Spending that really nice car money on a cheap beater car, a couple of guns, and a whole bunch of food. And the couple of guns were basically, I wanted some particular things. I like guns. I bought myself a toy. You know, I was very good. I sold my car that I loved. You know, I wanted something out of it. And the new car is turning out to be my pride and joy. Like, I love that thing. I will never sell that car. I'm going to fucking keep fixing it. And if they get rid of gasoline, then I'll fucking turn it electric. And if they fucking get rid of electric, then I'll fucking hook an oxen to it. It's mine. I own it. You know? You should be that way with everything. Don't be so quick to replace things. Right now, they're trying to sell all of you that you need to replace all of your tech, all of your cars. And if you look at what they're doing, they're taking the stupidest motherfuckers amongst you and charging them whatever the fuck they want. Go to a Ford dealership right now. Go look at any of their trucks. They'll see an MSRP that is like one price, and then their sticker price on the dealership is double. Because Ford desires to be in this business of, you know, we want to appear to be the everyman car or whatever and get business that way and whatever. But in reality, it's kind of an exclusive club that either there's a couple of ways to get into it, and the easiest one is just paying them a whole bunch of money. And they've set up everything that way. And this is why you should always do the free version. Don't pay for anything. Free version's always the best version. That's kind of where I'm at with things, you know. The free version of things on the internet is where you find the love. It's where you find the creativity. It's where you find the joy. It's where you find anything worth having. They destroyed that in their world. I want to go build a world that's better. And it's going to be built out of the wreckage of this one, it looks like. All I wanted to do was go to Alaska and homestead, or go to some fucking alien planet and homestead. You know, I really don't think Alaska's an option as much as I want to talk about it. Like, the thing that I keep thinking about with that is, if the elections go right, I might go join the fucking military. The reason I say that is, I thought about it. There's a couple of jobs in particular that I'd be really, really good at, and they would fucking pay me bonus money to do because they suck. And it's mostly because you're cold and alone. I can do that shit. You know? We keep working on losing weight and exercising. And part of my issue with losing weight is that I'm not willing to look like a man. If I was willing to look like a man, I would have been skinny long ago. If you want tits and hips, that you have to have the right shit. And there's only so many ways to do that, and that's hormones and the right exercises, and actually a little bit of lack exercise thrown in too to get the loss of male muscle mass that you need. Some of that just the hormones will give you, but If you should take anything from my videos, it's that life is an adventure. Don't let other people tell you how to live it. My best advice to any young man would be, as soon as you are listening to me and listening to this, start squirreling away money when you're a kid. And your goal is to buy the cheapest beater car that you can that is reliable and will run and whatever. That, you know, I would buy a minivan. Again, lots of reasons for that. And the thing that I would spend the rest of the money on is like 10 acres of land. And like from there, go get a job doing anything and know that everything that you make is yours because you're living in your own van on your land, building your own home. And like, that's not for everybody, I get that, but like what I would do is build like a 10 by 15 one-room cabin as cheap as fucking possible. And you know, I would build it not where I wanted to build my main house. Okay, I would build it as a romantic cabin in the woods. You know, I would build it as a place to bang chicks, because that's what you need. Thank me later. Now, once you have found said chick and are having children and, you know, yada yada yada, then maybe you'll need a bigger house, right? And, you know, hopefully she'll help you build it. And if not, the kids will. Like, this is the way, basically. And I know some of you are like, well, then why don't you go do that? Why are you trans? Because I don't want a family. And that's mostly that with some of the stuff that I've got to do, they would never be safe. They will never be safe. They would never know safety. They would never know happiness. So maybe I'll have a family someday, but it'll probably be adopted. I've got my nephews and my brother's kid. I guess that's technically a nephew too, sorry. I think of them as separate things. I view my brother's kid as basically my kid. I know that's fucked up, but he's all the best parts of me with a lot of the worst parts of my dad removed. And, you know, why would I want to fucking... Why would I want to continue this shit, basically? I think my father's probably the biggest piece of shit on earth. Like, that was one of the things that, like, really bonded Dakota and I was... We both grew up without a dad. We were basically just both lost, broken, hurt people that were ecstatically happy for about a year. Honestly, I don't think either one of us will ever be that happy again. It's, you know, the world was shit all around us, but we had fucking weed and food and a roof over our heads and transportation, and like we had a year of the dream, basically, and that dream was funded mostly by me being a hooer. She didn't do that. It was one of those that things that, like, I wouldn't let her do that. She never got why. Like, it's not a good thing. But at the same time, like, if you do it the right way, it can be an okay thing. And I didn't want her to play with that. So basically, she would come and spend the weekend and maybe even like some days of the week with me. And whenever she was gone, I was walking the streets, you know? And I was making more money doing that than I am being a fucking handyman. But the sad part about that is, with all of the shit going on in the world, the lack of money in the world, and everything, like, there's, you know, the oldest profession's fucking dying too. This is one of those things that, like, maybe I have a fucked up system of values or whatever, but like all of my thoughts about whores comes from the Old West. And whores are the reality. That's how you get women to go out into there and like be hot and fuck you. You know, there's some of them that are there for the adventure and to find love and whatever, but there's a whole bunch of them girls that they would like to live in town. They would like to be provided with money, and they would like to get fucked on occasion. And if they could do all that and have you as, like, you know, you're out there like building them a farm, well, that's just great. That's gravy. You know, this is what a lot of like the hottest Old West whores were doing, basically. They were, you know, fucking a bunch of different guys and waiting for the one that was going to hit it big. So many weird noises at night now. Well, I hope that, you know, me talking out here to you guys doesn't keep people up, but I don't think it does. I've blacksmithed right here before at like 4 in the morning and it didn't wake anybody up, so. It's one of those, yeah, not that I knew of anyway. I kind of figured that dude would say something if he didn't like it. And it wasn't that like I did that every fucking night. Like, the way that I work on blades, I like to forge in one big go and then grind and polish and whatever for a long time afterwards. So it's a process, and that would be like one night there'd be several hours of like hammering. But the thing you got to get about blacksmithing is it doesn't sound like when you hit a hammer on an anvil. When you hit a hammer on an anvil, it's two hardened pieces of steel clanging together and they make a gong noise. When you hit hot metal in between them, it's like hitting a fucking piece of Play-Doh in between two pieces of steel. It doesn't make any noise hardly at all. Like, most of the noise is the forge, and that's a that is deafening in the garage, but out of the garage isn't that big a deal. Oh, and like half of my thing with the blacksmithing thing was basically I wanted to learn to make knives, and I wanted to see if I could make a go at that. I could have legitimately done that, but I wasn't happy doing it. And, you know, I kind of had a midlife crisis, I guess, during COVID, but like, who didn't really? I think, you know, if you don't have a midlife crisis, did you ever live? In a lot of ways. And like, this is one of those things, I don't really consider myself to be in a midlife crisis. I consider myself to finally be doing the stuff that I want to do instead of listening to my family. Because, you know, you have to exist in society. And no, you do not. Flat out, no, you do not. The dude that just hit Nancy Pelosi's husband in the head with a hammer was not living in society. Ponder that one. Nancy Pelosi's husband's gay lover. That's still so weird. Like, it doesn't surprise me, but it surprises me a little bit that he got hit in the head with a hammer by his gay lover. Can't make that shit up. Like, my other question is, what kind of a man is still doing that kind of a thing at 80? I guess maybe you do it forever. I've fucked old men, but like, they were, you know, they were not billionaires, basically. I don't know. As sex for those people is about power. Like, I guarantee you, Nancy Pelosi just likes watching fucking broken trans people eat her fucking pussy out or some shit. The other thing I thought about was, I really like watching Bear Independence videos. I don't know if he would fucking tolerate my bullshit or not. It was one of those, like, I respect him enough to probably be less of myself around him. It would be interesting to try to go get a job at that medical company that he does. Because, like, they're packing aid kits. Like, that's what I've done for fun my whole life. In case you didn't know that. I've been a first aid junkie. Like, my thought on survival is, if I was packing saddlebags to survive, the first saddlebag would be a survival kit, and the second one would be a fucking medical kit. The fucking medical kit would be, you know, half trauma and half just basic shit. Half of this is you need antibiotics and shit, and I don't know, like, what our real answer is for getting that shit in the future, because basically the entire drug industry in America is owned by them, to the point that, like, I would bet you that you won't be able to buy fish amoxicillin soon. Like, this is half of the thing, is they want control. And, like, some of this is, they legitimately are correct about some things for some people. And some things are, you know, if you taught people how to take care of themselves, shocker, they would have less medical problems. No one in this society knows how to eat. No one in this society knows how to exercise or grow food. Like, these are essential things. Like, I see people every day that think exercising means going to a gym and lifting a bunch of weights. I legitimately think that that is a useful thing for some things, but in my opinion, most of the things that you should ever do for exercise are just doing shit. Like, go pick something hard to do. Go do it until you get better at it. There's no reason to build show muscles, in my opinion. Like, I guess girls, like, that's a reason, right? Want to be Mr. Olympia or whatever. Like, that's honestly, like, half of Arnold's thing was Arnold just likes pussy, and lifting weights gets him pussy. That's my theory. But the gym muscles, in reality, for actual fucking life, aren't any good. When Arnold went to do Conan the Barbarian, John Milius made him stop working out for 6 months. John Milius was a wise man, because when he started, Conan couldn't hold a sword with both hands because his pecs were too big. what's up with that shit? I don't know. It's almost like the goal isn't to make you a functional human. It's to make you this show pony fuck piece. You're a piece of prized fuck meat, Arnold. For Nancy Pelosi. And think about that one. Like, when you look like that, that's all you're good for. Just so you know. It's one of those, like, Arnold, when he did Conan, dropped to a much more functional level of strength that wasn't so steroid induced. Like, this is part of the irony about that, is like, you like pussy, right? Like, if you go do a bunch of steroids, you ain't gonna like pussy anymore. Probably won't like much of anything. If they don't tell you that, do they? I don't even know where to go on that shit. Like, it seems like the entire medical world is divided into cliques of fucking Mangala Nazis that like to make various kinds of show ponies. So if you go talk to some of those people, that's like what you get. Like, go talk to some of those weird, like, body lifter doctors that are out there. You can go find those. Yeah. That is a person that just likes to make fucking freakish show ponies. Okay? To be honest, there's a little bit of me that's, you know, making myself a bit of a freakish show pony, but, like, we live in an era of freakish show ponies, one. Two, I like being a girl. And three, I also really like being able to fucking talk shit about the government as much as I can now, without the fear of being labeled a neo-Nazi terrorist, black-bagged, and taken away. That is why this hasn't happened yet. They came here to do that a couple of years ago. As soon as they found out I was trans, they just walked away, basically. Oh, you're harmless. Thanks. Roger that. This is why, you know, the Baraka rides with me, boys. You can choose to get with the times, or you can choose to be left behind in a lot of ways. And for whatever reason, I think God wants this fucking gender issue bullshit sorted out. I think that's why all of this is going on in a way. A bunch of other shit. But, like, our society has been so far removed from its, like, agricultural days, like our fucking Bronze Age days, that we don't understand anymore that there are, in fact, you know, people just like this, basically. And the reason I say that is, in today's day and age, with all that we have, there's a lot of help for a lot of this. Back in the Bronze Age, there wasn't a lot of help for a lot of this. And the transgender shit, I believe, started as an answer to it. From someone like me that was. Like, they saw us doing it, and, like, people mimic. And I don't know if people mimicking us is good. But, like, Blair White and I, we're pretty fucking happy like this, to be honest. A bunch of others I've met that are, I wouldn't change it. No regrets. Best thing I ever did. You know, if other people got brainwashed by fucking neo-Nazi pricks on the internet, slash the Democrats. I don't really know who it is, and went and chopped their dick off. I'm sorry about that. The people that happened to, in my opinion, are extremely privileged. Considering that, a lot of you would say that I'm extremely privileged in a lot of ways, and I can't get surgeries. I can't even get hormones. I'm taking shit from Thailand. It's one of those that, like, the doctors that I go to, like, they don't do hormones. They do